Sri Hamsaduta text May 1st. A certain blissful person in splendid yellow silk garments, the solace of his lotus feet glorious as a host of red roses, his form dark as a tamala tree, and his mouth playfully curved in a gentle smile, appear in my heart. Text 2. At the request of Akrayura, Krishna and Balarama left the house of Nanda Maharaja for Mathura. At that time Srimati Radharani's mind was disrupted, and she became almost mad because of extreme separation from Krishna. She experienced great mental pain and agitation, which caused her to drown in mental speculation in the river of anxiety. I note, the translation of this verse is found in Caitanya Charitamrita Antya 14, verse 53, volume 4, page 215. Srila Prabhupada comments there, she, Srimati Radharani, thought, now I am going to die, and when I die, Krishna will surely come back to see me again. But when he hears of my death from the people of Vrindavana, he will certainly be very unhappy. Therefore I shall not die. Text 3. One day, when Srimati Radharani was feeling much affliction because of her separation from Krishna, she went to the bank of the Yamuna with some of her friends. There, Radharani saw a cottage wherein she and Krishna had experienced many loving pleasures, and by remembering those incidents, she immediately became overcome with dizziness. This dizziness was very prominently visible. I note, the translation of this verse is taken from Nectar of Devotion, in the beginning of chapter 30. Text 4. Fallen in the dust, and her limbs motionless, she was surrounded by friends holding lotuses, their hearts out of love filled with hundreds of fears, and their tears flooding the Yamuna's waves. Text 5. When her limbs resting on Lalita's breast were fanned with many lotus petals cool with Yamuna water and her throat moved with the sprout of a breath, her watching friends made a joyful sound. Text 6. Placing Radha on a bed of lotus petals, to fetch some water Lalita put her feet on the path. On the Yamuna's shore she saw a graceful and sweetly warbling white swan approach her. Text 7. Her heart encouraged by seeing the swan, anxious Lalita cautiously approached it, respectfully bowed before it, and praised it. She thought the graceful swan an ideal messenger to carry a letter to Lord Hari's assembly. Text 8. Wrapped in the anger of love for Krishna, she told the swan of her desires. She is not at fault for speaking to a bird. Where will a girl overcome with love for Lord Hari not place her faith? Text 9. You live in pure waters. You find happiness among the lotus stems. Your heart is pure. For this reason I, a very unhappy woman, take shelter of you. A request to a saintly person is never fruitless. Note, here begins Lalita's appeal to the swan. Text 10. Forgetting us who are tormented by the flames of separation from him, artistic Krishna happily lives in Mathura. Please place this message in your heart and at once put it on the path to his heirs. Text May 11th. All obstacles be cast aside. May your path be easy. Placing happiness and mercy in your heart, rise at once. The running and playing Gopa boys will gaze at you with wide open eyes. Text 12. O Tilaka of the saintly devotees, taking the path, famous in all the worlds, by which hard-hearted Akritra quickly took away the ocean of handsomeness that rules the young gopis' lives, go to the city of the Dasarhas. Text 13. O passionate lover of your swan maid, go by the path of the chariot touched by Lord Hari's feet, a path where the dear-eyed gopis, a flood of tears streaming down their pale cheeks, were tortured by Kamadeva. Text 14. Sip the sweet, Jambudark Yamunda water, eat some lotus stem soft and splendid as moonlight, for a moment rest under a great tree, and then, O friend, happily go to the city of the Vrishnas. Text 15. Fly over the path where the passionately crying gopis followed their lover as he went on Akrira's chariot, and you will become the greatest of swans. Text 16. O king of swans, please stay for a moment on this Kadamba tree full of new leaves, the tree Lord Hari climbed when, to flood us with waves of secret love, he suddenly stole our garments. Texts 17 and 18. The Rasalila place, a place where dancing broke the jasmine vines, a place dark with musk fallen from the vine forms of the splendid and playful gopis, a place where a person crowned with peacock feathers, dressed in garments splendid as gold, his limbs dark as a tamala tree, filling all directions with glorious handsomeness, flooding the world with waves of bliss, and his mouth kissing a simple flute, made wonderful music, will put joy in your heart. Text 19. Don't, after that, place your eyes on Lord Hari's amorous festival Jasmine Vine Cottage. When, by seeing it, you become so filled with bliss that you forget your mission, all the gopis will perish. Text 20. Even though my desires may be thwarted by the delay, see this place of Lord Hari's pastimes. Friend, may your purity not go in vain. What virtue will not make the mind enter Lord Krishna? Text 21. Govardhana hill which saw Krishna's secret pastimes with the gopis that, hearing the sound of his flute, ran to meet him, which is beautiful with many vine cottages, which is the cow's friend, and the boulders of which were Krishna's hiding place, will delight you. Text 22. We think this hill that tasted the nectar touch of Krishna's chakra-marked hands, defeated its relative's enemy King Indra, and is appropriately named Govardhana, is the crown of all mountains on the earth. Note, in former ages mountains had wings and could fly, however, when they landed they often caused great disturbances. When King Indra, to stop these disturbances, cut off all their wings, he earned their undying enmity. For this reason Indra is the enemy of all mountains. When Krishna thwarted Indra's plans by lifting Govardhana hill, the hill avenged its relatives. When Krishna lifted Govardhana hill, the cows were protected. For this reason the hill is appropriately named Go, of the cows, Vardhana, protection. Text 23. The cooling Yamuna spray carried by your wings breeze removing for a moment the fever of Pulinda girls burning in the memory of Govinda by seeing a tamala tree, you will slowly fly by Govardhana hill. Text 24. Next is the sweet Kadamba grove where the gopis beloved engaged in amorous battle. If you do not become happy there you cannot taste even the sweetest nectar. Text 25. In the outskirts of Vrindavana you will see Aristagira's old withered head, now the autumn clouds rival. Kavera's servants assemble to climb it, thinking it the top of Mount Kailasa. Text 26. Friend, please go and sing in Vrindavana, where there are many beautiful girls whose glory is now kissed by death. Your singing, so like the tinkling of Krishna's anklets, will at once bring back their life breath. Text 27. Happily stay for a moment on this dark banyan tree splendid in the sunlight. Now this tree is like Lord Visuya holding a conch and disc and present everywhere in the sky. Note, the dark banyan tree, with branches everywhere, is like Lord Venu's form present in many places simultaneously. This sun is like his disc and the white swan on a branch is like his conch shell. Text 28. Go to the famous place where intelligent Brahma, again and again sprinkling the ground with tears of pure love flowing from his 8 eyes, offered prayers. When you have left, the forest goddesses will think Brahma had just come, riding on you. Texts 29 and 30. Drink the sweet water in pure Kalia lake, fragrant with kadamba filaments and purple with jewels fallen from the serpent's hoods when, Lord Hari, showed his prowess by joyfully dancing there again and again. When Lord Hari was in the water there, the gopis, their hearts overwhelmed and their steps faltering as they anxiously ran on the Yamuna's path muddied with waves of tears flowing from their eyes, attained a state that cannot be described. Text 31. With great humbleness bow before Tulasi Devi, who is now burning in a forest fire of separation from Krishna, who understands the greatness of Gopi's eternal love, and whose new sprouts make her lament. Note, because she can no longer offer them to Krishna, the new sprouts make her lament. Text 32. Passing through 11 forest filled with the singing of peacocks, you will come to the 12th, Madhuvana, thick with mango trees, where the capital of the Yadus, which with the flooding streams of its fame purifies the world, is manifest. Text 33. Crowded with flowering gardens, sweet waters, and great columned palaces that rival Mount Kailasa's children, Mathura's city by the Yamuna's shore will fill you, O friend, with bliss. Text 34. Somewhere there Siva's bull chews grass. Somewhere Brahma's swan swallows lotus stems. Somewhere Kartikeya's peacock devours poisonous snakes. Somewhere Indra's elephant eats salaki sprouts. Text 35. You don't know the garments have fallen from your body. You don't know your pearls have spilled on the street. O girl whose heart is intoxicated by the wine of thinking of Sri Govinda, the prostitutes are laughing at your chaste reputation. Note, this verse and the 4 verses following are spoken by women when Krishna entered Mathura for the first time. Text 36. My left foot still not anointed with red lac, I am going anyway. Bewildered girl, of what use are my ornaments now? Friend, from the tumultuous sounds of the city's women, I think Vrindavana's Kamadeva gloriously walks by my doorstep. Text 37. Garlanded with Asoka flowers and bathing the line of houses with his playful glance, Kamsa's conqueror walks before us. Why, running from the back of the jeweled palace, and staring with unmoving eyes, do you block the windows? Text 38. Your eyes are always blank. In a secluded place you think of something. You do not hear 100 appeals of the friends before your eyes. O lotus-faced one, I think the splendid dark crown of youths has walked on the pathway of your eyes. Text 39. Friend, don't shamelessly cry. Lord Hari will come again to the playful vine of your sidelong glances. As Krishna first walked on Mathura's streets, the women spoke these words filled with love. Note, in the middle of this verse Lalita's description to the swan of the Mathura women's words ends. Text 40. Friend, the women of Mathura city, whose thoughts are kissed by waves of bliss by seeing the moon of Damodara's face, and who have placed a great calamity on the gopis' heads, will delight your eyes. Text 41. Traveling again and again, go to the verseness difficult to enter placas in the middle of the city. There Krishna's blissful palace is glorious with flags that cover the sky. Text 42. On its roof are many great crystal swans with beaks and feet of rubies. Many live swans come from a pleasant lotus lake and offer friendly respects to them. Texts 43 and 44. Will I again see Krishna who, his smiling face bright with joy as he hid in the Yamuna shore forest, the jewel gopis could not find after a long search? Don't despair. His words will soon be true. O Radha, decorated with a new peacock feather, your friend will return. The parrot couple the gopis placed in Uddhava's hands spoke these words to Lord Krishna. Text 45. Offered prayers by bewildered peacocks, black waves of aguru incense smoke float above Lord Hari's palace. O hero, if by seeing them you become attracted to Manasa Saravara, then you have been defeated by a love for staying with fools. Note, peacocks are pleased by the monsoon season, but swans flee to Manasa Saravara. Here Lalita says that if the swan shares the peacock's bewilderment and thinks the waves of incense to be monsoon clouds, he is a fool. Text 46. You will see Krishna's private pastime room, its windows decorated with fresh flowers, its splendid columns decorated with swinging strands of pearls, and its walls glorious with 10th canto pastimes in lines of gold. Text 47. On his terrace is an emerald column where a splendid cooing peacock sleeps at night. Brother, fearlessly fly to the top of that column and wait for the pastimes of the Yadus king. Text 48. Sitting on a couch of very soft white cushions at the height of the 3 worlds' opulences, his form slightly bent, happy, resting his elbows on a great cushion splendid as a full moon, his splendor glorious as the Yamuna's rising waves, his cheeks charming with swinging jewel shark earrings, and his silk garments defeating the splendor of gold, Mukunda will splash your eyes with the nectar of bliss. Text 50. Sitting near Krishna, Vikadruva, the eldest in the family, will eloquently speak from the Puranas. Then cruel Akrayura, whose name brings fear to the gopis, leaning against a jewel pillar, will tell the history of the Kuru dynasty. Text 51. Kritavarma and Satyaki, the crown of the Sini dynasty, will fan Krishna. Brahaspati's disciple Uddhava, resting his knees on the golden floor, will massage Krishna's lotus feet. Text 52. Garuda, the sound of whose wings stops the Mathura Brahmacharis' debate on the chanting of the Samaveda, folding his lotus hands and fixing his heart on his command, stands before the Lord. Note, when Garuda flies, his wings chant the mantras of the Samaveda. Text 53. Although even the demigod Brahma cannot describe the glory of Lord Damodara's smallest toenail, because of the fickleness of womanly intelligence I recklessly try to glorify his form. Text 54 Krishna's toenails, which were touched by the crowns of Brahma unsettled after stealing the boys of Braja, and which Devarsi Narada, seeing for a moment, became overwhelmed with bliss and greatly lamented for the liberated sages, shines with great splendor. Note, Narada lamented for the impersonalists, who cannot appreciate the glory of Lord Krishna's toenails. Text 55 I offer my respectful obeisances to the winter season, which every year punishes with death the envious red lotus flowers that, desiring beauty like that of Krishna's feet, torture themselves with the austerity of fasting from water. Text 56 With their splendor Krishna's thighs devour the emerald plantain tree's pride. They have become posts for tying the powerful wild elephants of the beautiful gopis' hearts. Text 57 Friend, Krishna's deep navel lake sustains the safari fishes of the gopis' eyes. From it, in the beginning of the Kalpa, sprouted a lotus flower that holds the material planets and gave birth, in its whirl, to the demigod Brahma. Text 58 Friend, in Krishna's belly, which is marked with 3 vines of folding skin, and which was once tied with a rope, Yasoda saw, as she looked in his mouth, the 3 worlds filled with demigods, humans, and serpents. Text 59 Decorated with a forest garland, filling with amorous desires the hearts of the slender gopis, and with its effulgence making the Kaustubha jewel splendid as a host of suns seem like a firefly, Krishna's broad chest is gloriously manifest. Text 60 Glory to Krishna's fragrant arms, which defeat the splendor of great sapphire columns, which are glorious with a bracelet of Kesi's teeth marks, and which firmly hold the necks of the gopis overcome with amorous desires. Text 61 Krishna's face, which is sweet with the happy amorous desires of his heart, which has vines of dancing eyebrows, which is a playground of nectar smiles, and which has teeth like a strand of glittering pearls, has become king of the great waves of handsomeness in the world. Text 62 O sweet-voiced friend, what more need to be said? I have clearly described him. When supremely blissful Krishna walks the path of your eyes you will know him. Text 63 O swan expert in enjoying amorous sporting with your cooing mate, if you see Krishna is enchanted by the Mathura women's charms, then don't place us village girls on the path of his airs. If the heart is filled with nectar, it will not search for rancid milk. Text 64 When the cuckoo's sweet cahus come, bringing waves of Vrindavana memories, or when a breeze scented with giri mali flowers blows, then place our words before Lord Krishna. Text 65 O playful one, O lover of the gopis, when you were in Vrindavana you loved Radha more than all other beautiful girls. Bowing before your golden lotus footstool, a friend respectfully appeals on her behalf. Note, Lalita here begins the message she wishes the swan to carry to Krishna. Text 66 O Krishna, the brown cow that from childhood you fed with new lotus leaves has now borne her first calf and the udders on her hips have become very great. Text 67 O lover of the gopis, the Vasanti vine of 3 or 4 leaves you took from the Kadamba trees and married to a mango tree, now weeps on the pretext of dripping with honey, and makes us weep also. Text 68 O Krishna, one person, born as Devaki's son, is the home of the Gopas' bliss. Another person, born from Gandhini's cruel womb, makes Gokula cry out, alas! Alas! Note, Gandhini was Akrira's mother. Text 69 Aristajura now troubles the beautiful-eyed gopis. Trinavarta makes the courtyards into fearful places. Vyomazura and other demons fly over Vraja's homes. O Krishna, O killer of Mura, they torment us now that you have gone far away. Text 70 O Lord Hari, don't come to Vraja now. The vines in Vrindavana are poisonous. If it were not so, why does the flower-scented breeze make the beautiful-eyed gopis fall unconscious? Text 71 O Lord Hari, why is not right for you to associate with us? We are only village girls. Now royal princesses worship your feet. The time when to meet a beautiful gopi you eagerly waited behind a tree in a garden has passed. Text 72 Lord, how are you at fault to leave us? As soon as their young wings are able, cuckoos leave the crows they have lived with since they were eggs. It is natural for the cuckoos to leave. Text 73 The preface has been quickly done. Now please hear the drama itself. O Lord of Vrindavana, first I will ask a question. SY 168 Do you remember the two wretched syllables Radha? Text 74 O Grastha of the forest groves, how can the gopis' misfortune in your absence be described? Radha, the best of the gopis, now walks on the path of placing at your lotus feet questions any girl would ask. Text 75 O Tilaka marking of the people, if you forget Vraja, and if death is not kind soon, how will my friend, tortured by the fragrance of Vrindavana's flowers, pass her days? Text 76 With waves of tears from her eyes Radha made in Vraja a river that eclipsed death's sister, the Yamuna. It is out of hatred for her, O Krishna, that proud death does not hear her appeal. Text 77 O Krishna, when she once saw from afar your graceful form, my friend lost all understanding of what is good and what is bad. Overcome, she entered a fire of love as a moth flies into a fire and burns again and again. Text 78 O Krishna, O moon of Vrindavana, what can I say? By her own fault my friend has become unhappy. Athof she is tortured by the fire of suffering she will not for a moment drag you from her heart. Text 79 A fortunate girl whose body was crooked in 3 places attained a beautiful form and enjoyed pastimes in your heart. Because her piety is lost, my friend was born straight, and so it is not easy for her to enter your heart for even a moment. Text 80 Was she attacked by ghosts, or bitten by a poisonous snake, or struck with epilepsy? Why did she suddenly fall unconscious? O Krishna, when Radha fainted by hearing the sound of bamboos in the wind, her superiors spoke these guesses. Text 81 New waves of inauspiciousness again and again dance in my friend's heart. O sweetness of the world's eyes, for a long time since you have gone to Mathura this tormented girl did not get news of you. Text 82 She bows before the expert counselors. She worships the mantra chanters. She very humbly serves they who give potions and charms. To be initiated in the sight of you she devotedly worships Parvati. What remedy does her agitated heart not consider? Text 83 O Krishna, to attain you, who are the cow's protector, fond of wearing a peacock feather. More playful than Kamadeva, more splendid than the greatest monsoon cloud, and the enjoyer of the Rasa dance, my friend again and again worships you near Nandisvara hill. Text 84 Drawing with tamala leaf juice a picture of you, whose eyebrow movements break Kamadeva's bow, she places her vine arms around your neck and falls, stunned, to the ground. Text 85 Obsessed with thinking of you, sometimes my friend thinks she has become you. Radha's heart burns in separation from you. O Krishna, her torment does not stop, even for a moment. Text 86 Abandoned by you, she is overcome with pain. Now my dear friend imitates your activities. O Krishna, thinking you must also be broken-hearted, the best of pious girls is broken-hearted day after day. Text 87 Hearing that you enjoy pastimes before the eyes of all who meditate on you, she has become wrapped in deep meditation. Believing that you walk on the pathway to the eyes of they who perform austerities, she prepares to perform austerities. Text 88 Always calling out, O Murari splendid as a blue lotus moving in Yamuna's waters. O Mukunda. O Kamadeva of Vrindavana. O jewel of the demigods. O Hari who fills Vraja with bliss. O beloved of Nandisvara. O son of Nanda. She makes her friends lament. Text 89. O Hari, tortured on every side by the flames of the forest fire of separation and gravely wounded by the hunter Kamadeva, the deer of my friend's life will leave the withered forest of her body today or tomorrow. Text 90 My friend has surrendered to Siva, who is splendid as a monsoon cloud, who is charming with the moon as his crown, and who with a crooked glance defeated Kamadeva. Now Kamadeva cannot harm her. Only playful you trouble her. Text 91 Jewel of the Adus, you know the gopis love you. We don't know why you try to trick us. Uddhava told us the supersoul is everywhere, but his words only doubled Radha's sufferings. Text 92 Brahaspati's student Uddhava is the Adus counselor. Our friend the Yamuna is Yamaraja's sister. O Tilaka mark of the Adus, who else that we know in the capital can describe Radha's condition and appeal to you on her behalf? Text 93. O Krishna moon, with the touch of your feet please bring happiness to the unhappy, pale, and yearning Radha lotus, all its happy pastimes with friends stopped, and its limbs withered by falling to the ground again and again with a wounded heart. Text 94. O Krishna, yearning for your company, my friend somehow protected her life from a host of calamities. Now, her life near its end, and her hopes crushed, she blankly stares at a mango bud. Text 95. Tormented by Kamadeva and abandoned by friends whose hearts have stopped trying to save her, this lotus-eyed girl is now at the verge of death. Hope for your return is the only friend that stays and protects her life. Text 96. O Krishna, O enjoyer of the transcendental Rasa dance, simply by dancing in the circle of the Rasa dance, you attracted Srimati Radharani's love. Why are you now so indifferent to my dear friend Radharani? She is lying nearby unconscious, thinking of your pastimes. I shall determine whether she is alive by putting a cotton swab under her nostrils, and if she is still living, I shall chastise her. O note, this translation is taken from Caitanya Charitamrita, Antya 14, verse 53. Purport, Vol. 4 pg 218, where it is translated by Srila Prabhupada. Text 97. O Mukunda, who in the world can describe the hundreds of desires in the heart of this restless-eyed girl? I will repeat what this beautiful anxious girl says. O Lord, please allow her words to walk on the path of your shark earrings. Note, texts 98 to 113 are Radha's words to Lalita. Text 98. Friend, the love Krishna felt for me made me ignore the path of piety. Alas, now he is aloof. Now I am ashamed to stay alive for another moment. Text 99. Friend, didn't these bending trees formerly delight me? Didn't this grove please my heart? Look. Now they torment me. Now that my Lord has abandoned me, what does not torment me? Text 100. I love you dearly. That is too light. I cannot live without you. Too heavy. Why do you not return? Put him under my control. Dear friend, these words are not right for a letter to Lord Hari. Text 101. O beautiful one, the time is past when that playful rake found me scented with playfulness and feigning anger as I hid in a hill cave, when he forcibly pulled me to him and made crescent moon scratch marks on my breasts. Text 102. When will I, the hairs of my body erect with love, see Krishna, whose sweet flute music dragged the dear-eyed gopis to him, whose sidelong glance is filled with playfulness, and whose restless eyebrows drank up the gopis' vow of chastity. Text 103. When, in a forest grove that is charming in the beginning of autumn, the humming bee's friend, and washed by waves of moonlight, will I hold in my arms Govinda, who is so expert in ferocious lovers' quarrels. Text 104. My dear beautiful-faced Lalita, I cannot express how my heart is burning. It is a great, unfathomable ocean of anxiety. Still, I wish to offer my obeisances at your lotus feet. What shall I do? Please consider my condition and advise me how I can become peaceful. That is my desire. O note, translated by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, this verse appears in the purport of Caitanya Charita Mrta, Antya-lila, Chapter 14, Text 53, Volume 4, page 215. Text 105. If the crest jewel of the cruel-hearted leaves me, then let him go. My life is over. Pretending to be part of a dream, he returned to Vrindavana and forced me to enjoy with him. Who can tolerate that? Text 106. His impropriety troubles my heart. Friend, go to Mathura and stop reckless Lord Hari so that in a dream the rake does not again passionately pull my sash of bells. Text 107. Listen. Even without being part of a dream he comes before my eyes. Friend, don't doubt, thinking my mind is bewildered. Your friend came to the forest by Govardhana Hill and passionately showed me his skill in amorous pastimes. Text 108. I passionately fled deep into the forest. Afraid, I doubled my steps. My tinkling anklets revealed my path. Eager to embrace me, and his eyes restless with joy, passionate Krishna did not know the flute had fallen from his lotus hand. Text 109. Unable to flee, I covered myself with a new cape of vines smiling with many flowers. I wept. He laughed. Oh friend, your friend tried to kiss my bowed face with his glistening bimbo fruit lips. Text 110. Friend, I hid his flute in my decorated braided hair, knitted my eyebrows with feigned anger, and gradually escaped his clutches. Lord Harry then playfully caught me by the hair, discovered what I had stolen, and then by force took me to a cave on a hill. Text 111. Once, in a grove of Vasanti vines, that rake, laughing, caught me from behind and covered my eyes with his hands. I became angry and tried to grasp the tips of his fingers. Where did that guru of the scoundrels suddenly go? I don't know. Text 112. Let this story end. Pious one, look. Your friend, an ocean of amorous pastimes, passionately desiring to embrace me with the pillars of his arms, and his face sweetened with a smile, now tosses a bandhika flower to me. Text 113. O shy one, stand up. Tie this rake with a great strand of pearls so he does not again go to Mathura. Speaking these words, she became stunned with love. How many times did she not make the gopis weep? Note, the first half of this verse ends Radha's words. In sthe second half Lalita again speaks. Text 114. Alas! I, wicked at heart, since childhood again and again taught my simple friend to tie the knot of jealous anger. O teacher of amorous pastimes to the gopis, for this reason, even though she yearned for it, she could not attain the bliss of your splendid pillar arms. Text 115. When, moving a leaf fan, will I again serve her, her hair fragrant with new jasmine flowers and her eyes closed in the happiness of sleep as she rests on your lap on a forest cottage porch fragrant with Yamuna lotuses? Text 116. When, hiding in Vrindavana forest, will I smile at her as, the vine of her arm around your shoulders, and the blossoming flowers in her hair crushed by autumn evening pastimes, her beautiful face is filled with bliss. Text 117. I will go to bring flowers from far away. Now you pick some tulasi leaves by the river bank. O lover of the gopis, when will I, knowing well where you are, with this trick send her to meet you? Text 118. O friend of Kadambi, carry these words of Gokula as an ornament on your wings, place them before the Lord's lotus feet, and beg him, please be affectionate to all your friends. Then the Lord will be very kind and full of love. Text 119. O lover of Haransi, first happily ask the forest garland attracting bees about its welfare. Then place before it my words, O virtuous one, have you forgotten the dear-eyed girl who for so long stayed with you on Krishna's chest? Text 120. O taster of nectar, do you remember how, near Govardhana hill, my friend, filled with anger at being betrayed, violently pulled on you, making the Lord of Gokula's eyes restless with fear and making his peacock feather crown fall? Text 121. Then happily say this to the shark-shaped earrings, sy 168. Why should I ask about your welfare? Gloriously smiling, and touched by his sidelong glance, you always kiss the mirrors of Krishna's cheeks. Text 122. O goddess, I know that you stay on the vine of the Lord's ears. With a heart full of love I earnestly take shelter of you. O friend, in a very secret place, when the Vrishnis are not around, with plaintive words please whisper Radha's grief in the Lord's ear. Text 123. O best of birds, to the Kaustubha jewel please give my affectionate embrace. Please say to it this message, friend, have you completely forgotten Radha? Love is not kind to an inconstant lover. Text 124. O divine jewel, on the Yamuna's shore will Lord Hari again play the flute and dance with the sweetly singing young gopis, their belts, jewel bracelets, and anklets all tinkling. Text 125. O conch shell, you are a new friend. You do not know the beautiful gopis. You do not know even the slightest scent of Radha's glories. Still, I beg you to fulfill the desire in their hearts. They who are pure in heart are always kind to the distressed. Text 126. O friend, O bliss of the ocean's heart, bring Govinda to Vrindavana and make it happy. But how will Vrindavana be pleased with you? The great and eternal glory of the flute reigns there. Text 127. Brother, when you have spoken to Lord Krishna this message of love, then, in sweet words of love mixed with anger, please also speak to him the pastimes of his 10 incarnations. Note, in the next 10 verses the Lord is addressed as Matsya, Nigrama, Varaha, Vamana, Nrsimha, Ramachandra, Balarama, Krishna, Buddha, and Kaki. Text 128. O great fish, my friend tried to catch you by casting in the ocean of sweetness a fishhook heart baited with love. You cut the fishing line of her discrimination and swallowed the bait. Now her hopes are destroyed. Alas! Alas! What will she do now? Text 129. Seeing the sublime grace of your handsome form, this poor girl, her heart glorious with eagerness, approached you. Why did you hide your limbs and became very hard? It is not right for you to act as a turtle. Text 130. O Krishna, since ancient times, and even today, waves of deep love splash on your form of a boar. On your lap you placed a servant girl that carried sandal paste. You passionately accepted her as your beloved. Note, the servant girl is Kubja. As Lord Varaha lifted the earth from mud, so Lord Krishna lifted Kubja from the sandal paste she was carrying. Text 131. Although your form of Lord Nrsimha has long since disappeared, it has not walked on the path of being forgotten. You, who are pleased with the humble, are still inclined to act cruelly and break others' hearts. Note, the names Prahlada and Akrira are concealed in this verse. Text 132. O Vamana, proudly ignoring her superiors, my dear friend happily offered to you the kingdom of her heart. She attained an appropriate result. You bound her with ropes of love and threw her far away. Text 133. O Parasurama, you are right to be hard on this girl that wishes to conquer your capital, but I do not understand why your guru, Lord Shiva, now walks on the path of your forgetfulness. Note, skillfully written with many ambiguous words, this verse may also be interpreted to mean, O Krishna, you are right to be hard on this girl that wishes to jump from Govardhana hill, but I do not understand why your father, the king of Nandisvarapuri, now walks on the path of your forgetfulness. Text 134. O Tilaka mark of the Raghus, now that you have left, the cows are tortured by Disana's friends, Govardhana hill is haunted by then demon Kara, the land is conquered by Varadha, and the demon Marika again and again dances everywhere. Note, this verse may also be interpreted in the following way, O Tilaka mark of the Raghus, now that you have left, the cows are tortured by many sufferings, Govardhana hill is withered and dried, soon Radha will depart, and death again and again dances everywhere. Text 135. O Balarama, O holder of the plough, why do you not come to Vrindavana and show us the autumn cloud glory of your form and happily throw the ass demons far away? O playful one, we have not offended you. Note, this verse may also be interpreted in the following way, O Krishna, O holder of the club, why do you not come to Vrindavana and show us the autumn cloud glory of your form and enjoy the rasa dance with us? O playful one, Radha has not left our company. Text 136. Even though she does not love anyone, she always hates Kamadeva, she forcibly rejects all material desires, she is always wrapped in meditation, and she is filled with spiritual bliss. O all-knowing Buddha, O merciful heart, you still are not kind to her. Text 137. O Kaki, seated on your horse and with the bee-covered vine of your sword killing the suffering barbarians you see from the corner of your eye, please make the saintly devotees happy. Note, this verse may also be interpreted to mean, O auspiciousness of the Gopas, with the bee-covered sweet vine sword of your affectionate sidelong glances killing the barbarians that are her sufferings, please make Radhika happy. Text 138 O King of birds, the waves of your words broken with symptoms of love, and your face wet with tears from your eyes, tell all this to Hyam. As you wait for the nectar of Lord Govinda's reply, gaze on him with your eyes. Text 139 Please bring Nanda's son on the pathway to our eyes. Please do this kindness to the gopis, who are worshipped in all the worlds. O King of swans, don't doubt that you can fly to Mathura in 9 or 12 hours. Text 140 O swan lover who enjoys playing in the lakes and who has the power to separate milk and water, you are very wise. Why delay your journey to Mathura? Text 141 Eternal glories to Sakara Malika, who is filled with spiritual love, who is learned in Srimad Bhagavatam, who has turned from the happiness of the world of birth and death, who tastes the sweetness of devotional service, who is the leader of the devotees, and who is like Sukadeva Goswami in this world. Note, before Lord Caitanya gave him the name Sanatana, Srila Rupa Goswami's brother was known as Sakara Malika. Text 142 May this sweet and faultless poem, which is praised by they whose hearts are good, and which is glorious with the description of the Lord's form and pastimes, make waves of happiness bloom in the heart of Lord Krishna, the friend of the worlds.